So excuse the plain takeoff noise from my computer. I woke up today at about 4:20 in the morning. Nice. To well, just noise, which was my bed apparently, and I started to have a panic attack for some reason. I don't know why again. So I tried to calm myself again by doing my usual. I typically try to fall asleep to something I enjoy, like music, and I listen to specifically jazz music and bossa nova as a way to get to sleep, but I have to do it at very low volume as well. But there's this nightmare now with YouTube where you have to be extra careful to actually use it properly. I'm talking about an issue where, for whatever reason, YouTube thought it was a smart idea to fuck you over. This started a few days ago, believe it or not, when I noticed an issue. I was listening to a playlist, well, technically it's like a 3 hour long video, of a bunch of jazz music. So, I noticed at the bottom, after clicking that, there is now a quote unquote mix. And these mixes, as people may know, if they use YouTube long enough, they end up suggesting you the worst, most irrelevant things, but not to mention the things that just are like, jeez, the things that just don't work. I'm listening to jazz music to fall asleep, and it's just something like EDM music. What the hell? It makes no sense. So, there's this issue here where you're essentially forcing people onto these things without knowledge. I didn't click in. I didn't click a single mix playlist, like, ever. So I don't know why I'm seeing this. But this isn't present on the desktop app, which is baffling. But it's present on the YouTube app and Edge, because I use Edge on my phone typically, because it has a natural ad blocker, which works, by the way. So I tested it, I went onto the YouTube app and it's awful. So I won't use that again, supposedly. But yeah, that one in now. No playlist. And autoplay is off by default. So I don't understand what's going on here. There's something really fucked up about this entire thing in general, like playback and performance here. That isn't on the mobile app. Even then, there's like no fucking option for actual playback settings, like there's nothing here. So you're falsely labelling things, which I'm pretty sure violates very legal terms of the law. So it's a bad platform. The YouTube over the years, I've been around it for well over since 2008, back when like YouTube parodies and stuff. Over time, it's just worsened and worsened. It's just for the worse every single fucking time. I don't even recall a moment where it was ever good. So, I don't understand, to be honest. It makes zero sense why they keep doing this, why they go against their user base. And it's never been explained. So, if they ever go to court for some of these issues, which by the way they will, because it's getting worse and worse, as I said, they'll have no grounds to stand because the entire user base is against it. Like, why? This makes no sense. And that leads on to the other issue. I tried to fix the mix issue with the YouTube mobile version. Because that's what it is, it's not the app, it's the mobile version. And I couldn't find any way to do it. I couldn't find the autoplay button. I couldn't find a way to close the mixes permanently. But I click on the mix thing at the bottom, there's a little tab, and it shows nothing. It shows an X icon, which should remove it, as it does on the desktop app, but it doesn't go away. And I liken this to rape, essentially. Or an abusive partner, maybe is the best term. But it's literally an abusive, manipulative partner. There's no better way to put it. So, I have to contend with that shit now. But I know there's a workaround in a way that it would work for my situation. I just need videos that are longer than 9 hours. That's it, really. And then I can bypass all that shit, and thanks to the Edge app, it has a natural ad blocker, so I don't have to see advertisements ever. Which is pretty handy. So I thought that this could be a issue with factors on the Edge app. Which is just a thought I had because, you know, it could be that they compromise her. They force you onto the app itself, even though they're not telling you to go on there for more features. Which is weird, by the way. Not sure why though. Yeah, I went onto the app thinking that there's probably some features on there. The only thing I've noticed, sleep timer, but for some reason it's hidden under menus. But I forgot to say, the first thing I saw, which is sort of the point of this video, when I went onto that app, after opening it for the first time in over, I'd say 1 year maybe, it immediately showed a fucking advertisement. The first thing you see when you open the homepage, advertisement. And it was a really questionable one as well, because why the fuck would I be looking into vets because I don't have a fucking animal? So it doesn't make any sense. Look, why? I don't have any animals. Why are you recommending me a vet? Like, Jesus Christ. This is a problem with advertising as well. Why the hell is it suggesting things I can't even use? And there are things that I don't use either. So there's no like choice in this, which again is why I liken these problems to an abusive partner. Because that's literally what an abusive relationship is. And I'm pretty sure many people have experienced this themselves. And certainly, I would say I've experienced it, technically. But you feel like you're trapped in a relationship and the partner is just abusing you for no other reason than getting you to submit, basically. And that's what's happening with advertisements all over at this point. So that's extremely frustrating. So I tried to use the app a bit and I tested the sleep timer, I tested the end of video option, and it doesn't really work. Because it takes you to the end of the video. So as I said, I tested it, it goes to the end, and then it goes to the next video, but says video pause. Would you want to? Like, immediately, why are we going to the next video? I just want my phone to fucking turn off at that point. I'm listening to music. I'm asleep, supposedly. So I should not be hearing, let alone seeing. It's gone onto this mixed playlist, which I didn't consent to, which is also on the app, by the way, that I can't get rid of. I can't even turn autoplay off anywhere. There's no setting for it. So again, it's literally an abusive relationship, and again, Google will go to court over this because the user base is fed up. There's countless posts online about this shit. People do not like this. Nobody wanted it. That's one of the important things to note here. It's all so fucking pointless. So I just very frustrated by this. I don't understand why this is even a problem. It's one of these things where the developer needs to actually test their products to begin with to find the issues. And any YouTube dev at the moment needs to start living like everyone else does. So you're not going to have a perspective to say like, oh, this needs changing or something. But the more you strip back features, the more you alienate your user base. Especially ones that have been here for a while. And not having full control of things is again much like an abusive relationship. You know, everyone should be on good terms. At the moment, there are very limited good terms with YouTube. And the removal of the play button, and the dislike button was something else for sure. Well, I can't say it's really done much in my own space, so it's not the same for everyone else. I don't find it's benefiting me too much, too badly even. But it's just so useless. Like, why then? How are we doing this? It makes zero sense. So it goes on to the conclusion here. Just some things I really got up to say because I was on my mind. I couldn't fall asleep. I'm extremely stressed out still. For some reason I'm getting itchy and breathing problems. This is what stress does. And yes, this is stressing me the fuck out. Again, YouTube are a bunch of cunts that can put in this. It does lead to these conclusions that I have about not just YouTube, but the world in general, the tech world. I wrote it down because it's really important to address the first thing, which I should never write down. Stripping people of these options to, again, customize the platform how they want it to be for themselves is going to alienate more people and no doubt have them migrate somewhere else. Because they're just so fed up with this shit. The reason people use Spotify for music, even though it's a terrible platform in itself, is because it's a platform for music where you can just listen. And I can say personally, whenever I've gone on there to listen to a song that's somehow exclusive, other than the stupidity of it forcing you to log in, which I hate, because it for some reason logs me out every time, it doesn't play a single advertisement, to my knowledge anyway. So it's a smooth experience from start to finish. Only problem is you can't easily download the tracks, so you don't have a physical copy, and that's also a technically I consider this a problem for legality as well. But if you're compromising things like preservation, you're an active participant in just ruining the planet in a sense. Because Jesus Christ, like preservation is very important. That's what people do, some of the shit they do. That's why people download songs. That's why there's physical copies, because it's not always going to be around. When Spotify goes down, especially if it's like an outage that lasts weeks, then yeah, people will wish they had a physical playlist. And that's why people do it. Because without that, yeah, you're just fucking people over. So again, stop stripping features from YouTube. People just want to listen to music without having to be bombarded by fucking adverts. It's simple. And why is it that music gets the adverts? Well, you should be doing something more reasonable there, putting the advertisement aside rather than in front. So again, it makes no sense. It's like nobody actually uses the platform at YouTube. YouTube HQ. But that leads into the next issue, which is what advertisements actually do to people. Advertisement is an advertisement for piracy. The more and more I see it across platforms, because I've seen it on social media, I've seen it, like even browsing Reddit posts on my phone without an ad block properly, because for some reason it doesn't block those ads. It will basically show you advertisements which are kind of useless, not even about anything I need. But it gets too much. And you go onto Twitch when you don't have a Turbo subscription, which I ended up getting in the end, unfortunately. And you find there's too many ads, like both pre-stream and on-stream. So whenever you're stream hopping, which I definitely did, it gets too overwhelming. It's just shitty. So what ends up happening in the end is people find routes where they don't have to go through that shit. But for some reason, Twitch has a dedicated team to stopping advertisements from being blocked, which is just extremely scummy. Because I don't think YouTube has gone to this length, to my knowledge, other than the buffering video thing. Which is still an issue even with ad block off, by the way. It makes no sense. There's something inherently wrong with forcing advertisements on people. As I said, it could be a side thing, like, oh, there's something, a side video, like, I don't know, on the desktop app, you could definitely have that be a thing. Even then, you need to be able to let people opt out of these advertisements. But I probably need to generate a thing at this point for people, especially with like specific mental health issues like autism, ADHD, schizophrenia, OCD. That's different issues. But we need like a sort of code sort of thing where maybe there's like a database you work with health services and you enable an option for people who are going through this, who have these mental health issues, to be able to disable things like that, to disable advertisements and just control aspects of YouTube and whatever platform they're on, and even Twitch, I'd say. Because you don't want someone with schizophrenia on the internet, by the way, where they're already at risk to many things, being forced to look at advertisements for things that they've like had interest in, only to realise that, oh shit, I think they're reading my mind or something. That's a very real danger, and it does encourage even more problems because that encourages crime. Unfortunately, it'll make people go insane, and it'll cause people to commit crimes, which we're already seeing the effects of currently. I just saw someone try to assault a streamer at TwitchCon, which is quite harrowing. Yeah, advertisement is an advertisement for piracy. It's not surprising, really. People would rather go that route rather than pay money. And that sort of leads into the next thing. If you're offering a premium option, why is it so expensive? And to me, a reasonable price these days, I'd say is below £7 for a way to block adverts alone. Although I consider that much less, in all honesty. But for some reason it's too high at the moment. Like Twitch Turbo is like £13. Fucking joke. And I looked at YouTube Premium and that's £12. Why is it so high? I can't wrap my head around that. Given that everything's increasing in price and minimum wage is a common thing now, why aren't you standing out? Why instead are you standing against people who are earning minimum wage, who are struggling to even keep a job? And not to mention mentally exhausted. It makes zero sense when a company ends up doing this shit because whilst monetization certainly is a necessary element in areas, even though you've got tons of advertisers, so it does make sense from that, it really sucks when companies just don't do the nice guy thing. And they just don't offer an option that works. You know, people who want YouTube Premium for the ad block specifically probably only want the ad block, not the other fucking features. Like, if I look at it now, because of the YouTube fucking, what is it? The mobile app didn't list the full list. So, yeah, all YouTube, no interruptions, you don't know that. It says offline play, but I don't understand how that works. Now, I'm off trial plan start from £7.99. Is it though? Like, it's student plan, and I don't understand what it is really. Like, what the fuck is a student plan? It doesn't say. No. I don't know. But it's not even cheap, that's the other thing. As I said, £7 and below is pretty reasonable. This is £7.99, and you don't even see what it does. There's like premium light here which says most videos ad free. What the fuck does that mean? Are you kidding me? Like, nobody's gonna pay for that. That's just restricted as shit. And again, this is a problem that I've mentioned, but there's no custom subscriptions. Because there are things people want in them that aren't the same as others. Some might not even mind the advertisements. Others will. And that leads into more problems. Because there's suddenly no way to choose what you want. And all those limited choices now lead to more problems, as I said. And all this stuff about comparing different subscription plans is pointless when you realise, well, this should just be a feature you can toggle on and off. And again, it's an advertisement for piracy. Which is why people do that. You know, when games start to advertise more and more within their games, people will start to pirate more. Because you're forcing players away, and you're pricing it so badly that nobody wants to support it. So it's not surprising. Yeah, membership being £13 is fucking absurd. Like, Jesus Christ. I use it enough to technically justify it, but I'm not using every feature. I just want ad-free viewing. I don't care about a lot of these other things. I don't care about the music app. I don't care about download and plug offline. I already have something for that. I don't really want background play. Also, why is that a thing? Like, isn't background play just like picture in picture? I can't. You can already do that technically, so what? Why is that even a feature? Unless it's like for mobile, where you can sort of play it in the background as you do something else. Or I play a game, but I don't know. But it's just shitty. Again, I've talked about this, I said it. Stand out rather than stand against. You lower half these prices and you have a good deal. Like £6.50 for the individual subscription is perfectly reasonable. And even for the student stuff, having it so it's like £4 going for most ad free is really good. So yeah, I'm not entirely against subscriptions. There's a purpose for it. At the moment, I pay for a few memberships, both on YouTube and outside, and I'll do that to support the people I support, the groups that matter, and that has its place. So, you know what doesn't have a place is absurd prices, incredibly monopolistic practices, and just a crappy, uncontrollable platform. So yeah, I fucking hate this place, in all honesty. It makes no sense. So, yeah, that's all I came to say. I decided not to include this in my podcast because it's really an issue in itself. Like, Jesus Christ, the amount of stress this causes me literally could lead to a heart attack. So I'm already stressed out as it is, but this could literally be the tipping point. It's not impossible. I'm so exhausted. I just want this shit to be over, and like, it sort of goes without saying, but I'm really on the fence about paying for this. I'm paying for premium. It's just not that I haven't even been fucking listened to. It just doesn't make sense. I suggested everything, and I'm pretty sure I gave feedback. I don't understand. I can't really sleep at this point. I might as well get up. Jesus Christ, yeah, that's the shittiness, yeah, of YouTube and just online platforms in general. In fact, you can't go anywhere without an advertisement. Just ridiculous. This world is really becoming so fucked up. Yeah, as I said, it's going to turn people on each other, it's going to lead to more crime, and tech companies are completely complicit in this, as we should know now. It's only a matter of time before hardware starts including advertisements in itself. Yeah, bought a new, I don't know, 6090 on that graphics card, the video card, is going to start spamming you both on its UI, because some of those cards have UI, it's going to spam advertisements on there, and it's probably going to spam advertisements on your system as well. It probably forces you to use GeForce Experience, which nobody likes by, or whatever they're using now, and put advertisements on there. It's literally a fucking hellscape. But you literally can't avoid this shit. Which is what makes it even more devastating and destructive. So, I don't know what else to say. That's pretty much everything covered I wanted to mention. Anyway, thanks for listening.